Hello everyone, my name is Natalia and today we're going to make this beautiful little pig keychain. This is how it turns out. Girls, you can make it as a keychain, to hang on your purse, or to hang on your backpack. You can make it as a party favor, to give as a gift, or for whatever you like. It's super quick and very easy to make. The safety eyes are 10 millimeters and I used a 2.5 millimeters hook. I hope you really liked today's video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If that's the case, and without any further ado, let's get this exciting project started right away. We're going to begin our work in a continuous spiral, which is a common and effective method for crochet. For this particular project, I'm using a 2.5 millimeters crochet hook, which is a good size for achieving a tight and consistent fabric. To start, we will create a magic ring, also sometimes called a magic circle, and into this ring we will work 6 single crochets. Let's count them together as we make them. I have completed 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets, followed by 3 single crochets, then 4 single crochets, next 5 single crochets, and finally 6 single crochets. Once all 6 single crochets are in place, we will gently pull the tail of the yarn to securely close our magic ring, preparing us for round number 2 of our crochet piece. We're going to make 6 increases. I go into the first stitch, and as I do, I tuck in this tail. I make my first stitch, and we need to mark that one right there. Where I made the first stitch, I make another stitch in the same place, and that's how we form the first increase. Remember, an increase is 2 stitches together in the same spot, and there I have my second increase. We're gonna make 4 more increases and then come back 1, 2, 3, and 4 more increases, making 6 in total. Ladies, for round 3, I'm going to use this yarn as a marker for round 3. We make a single crochet, mark the first one there, I already have it marked, and an increase. We're going to repeat that sequence 6 times. Okay, we do 1 stitch and 1 increase, I repeat, 1 stitch and 1 increase, 1 stitch and 1 increase, until we finish the round. For round number 4, we will carefully make 2 single crochets. It is important to mark the very first one of these stitches. I have completed 1, and then subsequently I have completed 2, and then we will perform an increase. We will then proceed to repeat this precise sequence. 2 stitches, 1, 2, followed by an increase, and then again 1, 2, and then another increase, continuing this pattern until we have successfully finished all 5 of the required repetitions. We make 3 single crochets, mark the first one, 1, 2, 3, and now it's time for the increase. I repeat the sequence, 3 stitches, 1 increase, 3 stitches, 1 increase, all the way around the round. 6 girls. Moving on, I made 4 single crochets. I marked it there so you can see it better. And now it's time for the increase. We repeat the sequence, 4 stitches, 1 increase, 4 stitches, 1 increase, until we finish. For round 7, we also move on. I made 5 single crochets, and now it's time for the increase. I repeat the sequence, 5 stitches, 1 increase, 5 stitches, 1 increase. To finish from round 8 to 14, we make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Girls, don't forget to mark the first stitch. That way we don't get lost. It's important because when working in a spiral, it's very easy to lose your place. So we keep going like this up to and including round 14. I finished my round 14, and this is how it's looking. Now for round 15, we're gonna make 5 single crochets and mark the first one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it's time for a decrease, and we're going to repeat that sequence until the end. We do 5 single crochets, 1 decrease, 5 single crochets, 1 decrease, and so on. Now from round 16 to 17, we make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and as always we mark the first stitch. We keep going like this until round 17 inclusive. I finished round 17, and this is how it's looking so far, and I've already attached the eyes. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Between rows 10 and 11, that's where we place the eyes. and the distance between one eye and the other is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 stitches. We place the eyes and continue to round 18. We're going to make 4 single crochets. Mark it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a decrease. We're going to repeat the sequence, 4 stitches, 1 decrease, 4 stitches, 1 decrease, all the way around for round 19. We make 3 single crochets. Mark the first one. I have 1, 2, 3 and then a decrease. I repeat the sequence, 3 stitches. 1 decrease per stitch means 1 decrease all the way around. And girls, whenever you want, start stuffing, girls. Let's see, stuff a little for this round. Then later, when you're about to finish, fill in whatever's missing for round 20. I've already made 2 single crochets and now it's time for the decrease. Then I repeat the sequence, 2 stitches, 1 decrease, 2 stitches, 1 decrease all the way around for round 21. I made a single crochet and then it's time for the decrease. So I repeat the sequence, 1 stitch, 1 decrease, 1 stitch, 1 decrease. And girls, now make sure to stuff it well because we're starting to close up. Cut a long strand so you can close it, then pull from here, thread it onto a yarn needle and stuff it well. Girls, you can clearly see that here we have a total of 12 stitches. Well, we are going to carefully go through all of these 12 stitches, meticulously grabbing only the outer loop, gently pulling as we steadily go along, and precisely counting each one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to a full count of 12, and then we will carefully come back. So we close it up tightly, make a knot, and hide it inside. Here we can already cut the yarn. We're going to make the snout with the same color, girls, and I make a slip knot using the same hook as well. And we're going to make a total of 5 chains. I have already created 1, then 2, followed by 3, then 4, and finally 5. Now we will carefully insert our hook into the second chain from the hook. So counting back from the hook, we will go into the first chain and then into the second chain. I go in there and I'm going to make 2 single crochets, that is an increase. I have 1 and 2 stitches in the same place, okay? And girls, if you want, mark the first one, which would be this one. The first one we made is good. Now we keep crocheting over here and we're gonna make 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. I make 1 single stitch, and then in the very next stitch I make another one. Now I have the very last stitch remaining. You can clearly see it right there. In the last stitch I'm going to make a triple increase, that is 3 single crochets together. I have 1, 2 and 3. So you see how it starts to curve around? Now we're going to carefully crochet along this entire side, and at the very same time I'll meticulously hide this loose yarn end. So we're going to do precisely the same thing we previously did before. On the other side we made 2 single crochets specifically, 1 and then 2 placing 1 stitch in each and every individual stitch. And in the very last stitch, which would be this particular one right here where this small hole is located, I will make a single crochet stitch. Alright girls, so there will be a triple increase on this side, a triple increase. On this side and here on the sides there are 2 stitches on and 2 and 1 and 2. That makes a total of 10 single crochets. That would be round number 1. Now for round number 2 I'm going to use this yarn end as a marker because we're also going to work in a spiral, so we're going to make 2 increases. There's my first stitch, and that's the stitch we need to mark. In the same place, I make another stitch to create the increase. I go to the next stitch and make another increase. and now I have 2 increases. Now I'm going to make 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. I'm doing it a bit slowly, girls, for those who are just starting out. For those individuals who are not yet familiar with this process, please feel free to proceed. You can certainly accelerate the playback speed a little bit and quickly fast forward through this particular section of the video. Now, at this precise moment, I have already meticulously completed the initial 2 single crochet stitches, and subsequently I am now going to carefully execute 3 distinct increases specifically. 1, then 2, and finally 3 separate increases. Consequently, I have a total of 12 increases already completed and an additional 3 increases that I am currently working on. And as I previously mentioned and explained before, it gracefully goes all the way around, and then we meticulously crochet on this other side of the piece. I will now proceed to make 2 single crochets, first one and then the second one, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, in a continuous and rhythmic motion. I'm left with the last stitch, which you can see there, and I make the last increase on and 2. In other words, 1 increase, and I close with a slip stitch in the stitch that closes the most. We cut a slightly long strand because we're going to use it for sewing, and from here we pull, and this strand that I was using as a marker, I'm going to cut it now. Alright ladies, let's attach the snout. You can look at the image to see the correct position. Alright, look here where the eyes go, that's where we sew, and place it as centered as possible. If you want, you can also count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 rows, and that's where it would be sewn, so let's sew it on. This way, we are carefully going to hook it onto the very front face of the fabric, precisely like this. And then, I am meticulously going to hook into the very next stitch, exactly like this. Following that, I will smoothly move on to the subsequent stitch, continuing the pattern in this precise manner. And there we go, meticulously sewing, carefully hooking onto the very front face of the fabric, precisely grabbing the specific stitch, much like this, directly from the 5th row or point. Subsequently, I will smoothly transition and move to the immediately adjacent next stitch in the sequence, and then diligently repeat this entire detailed process with the same level of precision and attention to detail for each subsequent stitch, ensuring a consistent and uniform result throughout the entire piece. Alright ladies, and just like that, we need to carefully keep a close eye to make absolutely sure that nothing shifts out of place. And we will diligently keep sewing all around here, and then come back to precisely finish up. A good strong knot, ladies. We will completely finish sewing, and we're going to make a secure knot right down here. Then we'll meticulously make the ears and finally start with a magic ring. With exactly 8 single crochets, let's count them together to be sure. I have 1, then 2, followed by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. Once we have these 8 stitches, we will carefully close our magic ring, ensuring it is snug and secure. Furthermore, for this particular project, we are also going to work continuously in a spiral, which means we won't be joining rounds with a slip stitch. Now, moving on to round number 2, our objective is to create another 8 single crochets, placing 1 stitch into each stitch from the previous round. And as is good practice, we will always hide the yarn tail from our starting magic ring as we proceed with our stitches, neatly tucking it in to secure it and make our work look clean. This particular strand of yarn marks the very first stitch, which would be this specific one right here, and I will continue working 1 single stitch in each and every stitch. I have completed 2, then 3, then 4, and so on, proceeding in this manner until I completely finish this current section. For the upcoming round number 3, we are going to meticulously make 8 stitches, increases. I carefully go into the very first stitch, then I precisely mark that particular stitch to ensure accuracy. There, I have successfully made my initial first increase, followed by my subsequent second increase. You will continue to diligently keep making these increases in a consistent manner until you completely finish the entire round of your work. For round 4, we're going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. Don't forget to mark the first one, and we continue to the next round. Round 5, the sequence. It's 1 single crochet, we mark the first one and then an increase. I repeat the sequence. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 increase, all the way around. And now, from round 6 to 7, 1 single crochet in each stitch. Mark the first stitch in each round and continue until round 7, including for round number 8. We make 1 single crochet, mark it, and then a decrease. Repeat sequence. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, all around. Cut a long strand from here, pull it through, thread it onto a yarn needle, and we're going to join. When we talk about creating something beautiful and intricate, especially in the realm of textiles or needlework, the phrase stitch to stitch truly encapsulates the meticulous and precise nature of the work involved. It implies a careful, step-by-step progression where each individual stitch is placed with intention and accuracy, building upon the last to form a cohesive and perfect whole. This dedication to detail ensures the highest quality and craftsmanship in the final product. So, with that understanding in mind, I want to make sure everyone is following along perfectly, particularly all you wonderful ladies out there who are engaged in this creative endeavor. Are we all clear on the process and ready to proceed with this intricate work, my dear ladies? Keep joining like this until the end, and then we'll leave it like that for later assembly. We need to make 2 identical pieces. Alright ladies, let's sew on the ears. And look on and 2 rows, 1 and 2 rows. There you place them. Just follow the image as your guide. Okay, look above the eye on this row, more or less around here, roughly. As I always tell you, take a good look if you like how it looks. Make sure the back is more or less even too. And now we start sewing, threading through a black stitch. And just like always, we're going to carefully grab the yarn here from the very top of the head of the stitch. In this particular case, I'm going to meticulously pick up the stitch in a precise manner, ensuring that it is positioned correctly on the hook, just like this. When I say like this, I mean that I am specifically and intentionally going to take only the front loop of the stitch, making sure to isolate it from the back loop for the desired outcome. If you want to grab both loops, I'm gonna do it like this. Alright ladies, please keep going like this, continuing your work all the way up to this specific point here. When you eventually get to this particular spot, make sure to create a secure knot and then carefully hide it completely inside the fabric or material. As always, we will then smoothly move on to the next step, which is meticulously making the eyebrows, specifically using a brown colored thread in a precise black stitch. You have the option to use brown or black, or indeed whatever color you personally like and prefer, and here I have clearly marked it to make the initial part of the process. Eyebrows. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. We place a pin, go down 1 row, and that's according to the image 1, 2, and a pin. You can follow along with the visual image, okay? We will carefully go in through any stitch. I'm going to precisely go in up here, then come out exactly where the pin was located and leave a loose strand here for now. So with this particular thread, I can meticulously prepare and make a secure, well-formed knot at a later, more convenient time, ensuring its stability and functionality. Simultaneously, with the other distinct thread, I will carefully and precisely guide it to emerge through any available and suitable stitch, allowing for proper placement and continuation of the work. First, to clearly see how this particular one looks, I made a rather obvious mistake. As I inadvertently put it on the very same row, it needs to go 1 row lower. Let's see. Now, that's right, and it's better to use the same thread to make the second hole of the nose. We come out around this general area, more or less, specifically in this vicinity. As I previously mentioned, you should carefully follow the visual cues provided in the image, paying close attention to the details presented. Once you have accurately aligned with the image, I then proceed to meticulously create 2 distinct small lines. These lines are precisely positioned, with one placed directly inside the designated area and the other situated just below it, ensuring accuracy and adherence to the visual guide. I come out here to this specific location and carefully leave it there, ensuring it is securely placed and will not be disturbed. Now, with the previous step completed, I am going to proceed by utilizing this particular type of strong, durable thread, which is essential for the next stage of the process. Where exactly does this particular piece of yarn go? To make a secure and neat knot, we carefully take this end of the yarn and gently thread it onto a specialized yarn needle. This specific part, once threaded, is then meticulously hidden away inside the fabric or project, ensuring a clean and professional finish. Now, for the next step in our crafting process, let's carefully retrieve a black thread. We're going to meticulously craft some beautiful eyelashes. We carefully and neatly leave the material here, ensuring it is perfectly positioned and arranged, as well as to securely make a strong and reliable knot. You just follow the image. You saw that it came out next to the eye. I carefully go into this specific area here. And now I am meticulously heading towards the other designated eye, which is a distinct and important point located over there. Having successfully reached that particular spot, I then proceed to go into this section here, more or less. And I will come out at any opportune point to thoroughly see and assess how it looks there, ensuring everything is precisely as intended. It looks pretty good. And now, with this thread, you go over here, make a knot, and hide it inside, just like we did earlier with the eyebrows. And that's it, girls. With pink thread, we make a knot. You can make it as long as you want, make 1 or 2 knots. We carefully thread this yarn, ensuring it is securely attached onto the yarn needle, just like this. Then, we gently guide the needle in through any convenient and accessible point on the fabric or project, making sure to come out precisely and directly right in the very middle of the desired area, and from this central point we can continue our work. We pull to hide the knot, and right here, if you want, you can make it a little shorter and add a little loop to hang it on keys, on a backpack, on a bag, wherever you want, even on a door, which also looks nice. Go ahead. Finally, we're going to sink the eyes in a little bit, just a touch, and we're going to sink this other one as well, okay? So, we thread the same color you used to make the piglet onto a yarn needle. I go in from the side and come out down here. I am carefully leaving a single strand of material here, precisely positioned, in order to facilitate the creation of a secure and stable knot.
Subsequently, I will meticulously insert the tool or material into this specific point, and my intention is to then skillfully guide it to emerge exactly where this aforementioned strand is currently located.
Please observe this step with utmost attention and care, just in case there are any subtle nuances you might miss. And with that precise maneuver, the essential part of the process is successfully completed. Simply pull these 2 strands together a bit, and that's it. Help a little with your hands, and that's how it should look. Now, with these 2 strands, tie a knot and hide it inside, then do the same with the other one. Just be careful. The only thing is that you go in from this side and do the same. Go in here, then tie a knot and hide it inside. Alright girls, that's all for today. This is how it turned out. I hope you really liked it. Sending you a big kiss, and I'll see you in the next video.